On today's episode of the Real Recovery Podcast, episode 106, we are so thrilled to welcome Megan C., a woman who has lived through some of the most harrowing chapters addiction can write, and come out the other side not just surviving, but leading. Megan's road to recovery wound through opiates, heroin, homelessness, violence, and multiple near-death hospitalizations, including a 9-week ICU stay where a lung infection nearly took her life. But today, with 6 years clean, she's a program manager overseeing nurses, caseworkers, and peer recovery mentors, and she's proof that every single detour can become part of the path. Join us as we talk about medication-assisted treatment, the transformative power of clean and sober housing, breaking cycles for the next generation, and what it means to find real purpose in giving back.
Welcome to the Real Recovery Podcast. I'm Julie, your co-host. On this journey of healing and transformation, together with my co-host Peter, we dive into the heart of recovery, sharing stories that resonate with courage and inspiration.
That's right, Julie. Each episode is a new chapter in this vast narrative of recovery, and we're honored to bring them to you. But keep in mind, the perspectives you'll hear are for informational purposes only and may not reflect the views of the podcast or our partners.
Indeed, while these conversations can be a powerful part of your recovery toolkit, they are not substitute for professional medical advice. We encourage you to seek guidance from your healthcare provider for any treatment-related decisions.
And if you're facing an immediate crisis, or if you just need to talk to someone who understands, don't hesitate to call the Recovery Crisis Line at 503-223-8569. That number is also on our website. Help is available 24/7.
Now let's begin our episode
of Recovery, Real Recovery.
Well, Megan, hi. This is Julie at the Real Recovery Podcast on a Friday night.
With the Real Recovery Podcast. You're not at the real, well, I guess you are at the Real Recovery Podcast because you're at my house.
I just want to say, fuck you, Peter.
I'm feisty
Leave
tonight.
that in there.
This is Peter, if you haven't guessed it.
I went to work at what time this morning?
Right.
And I have,
It was my
today
middle of
is
the
the
night.
6th.
Yes.
I've answered 132 calls since the 2nd of
I
the
used
month.
to do that growing up.
I'm just saying, Peter.
Yes.
And I'm always so tired when I get here, but then when I leave here,
You feel rejuvenated?
I do, because I'm not on the phone, which I like my job, don't get me wrong. My last customer just lost her job after 31 years, and I was able to give her a grant.
Oh.
I'm just saying I had a moment, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, that would have been nice.
Yeah, and you could tell her payment went through for all these years, and I'm having a hard time. Can I pay this and can I pay that? And I was just like, yeah.
What a cool thing to be able to do.
It is. It really is, especially when somebody needs it.
Mhm.
And because I was off for a year, I really appreciate doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that voice that you're hearing, that other voice is...
Hi, I'm Megan.
Yay.
I'm here.
Welcome. Everyone's going to be like, who is she talking to?
This is Megan. I would say, I don't know, one of Darrell's angels.
Oh,
you know?
thank you.
I do believe that.
Yeah.
I believed you. Darrell is on our podcast. I don't know which episode by heart. I'm going to get a catalog and memorize them.
There you go.
Today, the date today is our 2-year anniversary.
Oh, really?
Yeah. 104 episodes.
Wow. You
One
guys are
every
incredible.
Friday for 52 weeks.
Haven't missed a Friday.
Not through IOP, not through laid off, not
Right.
through Peter's cancer, not through training at my new job.
Wow.
Look, none.
That's
Yeah.
a feat.
Went through. The only ones that I still had to put out an episode because I wanted people to know why we weren't having an episode. So it's weird. But just the holidays, the 2 holidays.
Yeah.
We
And then-
decided this year to.
Yeah, it was a bit overwhelming, especially after horrible last year. And also last year, we did a kind of a best of for 5 of the episodes that we went through or it wasn't the best of, it was our founding members.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I still want to do the 5 favorites. I think they deserve to be
It's hard to pick a favorite. That's the thing, you know?
Yeah, it's so subjective.
And you don't want others to feel bad if you're like, you weren't my favorite. Well, I thought I was your favorite.
I still have.
It's good for people.
Okay, so I'm going to say there was some that were life-changing.
Yeah.
I want to say that were some of them. And what's crazy, what's life-changing for me
Isn't for everybody.
isn't necessarily for Peter.
Yeah.
Our last podcast, Peter and the person they could relate, where my drug of choice is different.
Yep.
So I'm coming from a whole different world. Peter would never last in prison. Peter hasn't been to prison. Okay.
I can't see it.
You know what I'm saying? So we're completely opposites and exactly the same.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy. So
we could call it our most heartfelt episodes, or
Yeah.
ones
There you
that tugged at our hearts.
Yeah, and you each pick 3 and do 6 or something like that.
yeah. And what's crazy is that for me, there's a couple, and I will tell you, 25 years sober, I had a couple, I'd say the big 3 resentments still, and 2 about my childhood.
Yeah.
I don't have them anymore because of the
Really?
podcast. No, I still had opportunities. My parents had opportunities, but I do believe after the podcast that they did the best they could.
Just watching mothers do the best they could, or what did that for you?
Yeah, we had one girl on, I love you, Ebony, and her childhood,
That
just was wrong.
powerful.
Yeah.
and mine had opportunities. I was molested from 5 to 11. I don't cry about it anymore. It's just a conversation.
Yeah.
But her childhood, I had people that cared still. I had normal school. I played
Some people have
sports.
nothing and no
Yeah,
one.
the system did her wrong. There was no system for her. And after listening to her podcast,
I'll have to listen to that.
I was so grateful. I was grateful too that one, I got to AA when I was young.
Yeah.
And so my daughter never had to go through
Yeah.
any of the bullshit that I went through. And
What a gift, Julie.
Look, and I'm so like grateful and happy and
Yeah.
and like it.
I had one that did and one that will never, and I vowed that she will never. Yeah.
And I have to tell you, when they don't see any of that,
Mhm.
it's so amazing.
Yeah.
Because you want to stop the cycle.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
So it has changed. It has changed my whole outlook on a few things, and processing some memories, and that I didn't until I went to IOP. Then they came a little more. Yeah. And now they're a little more gone.
It's the journey, though, isn't
It
it?
is. It
Mhm.
is. It
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
is. It is. And I think if you ever think you're recovered, you're not. I
No.
just think if you think I'm recovered.
No, the journey never ends.
And if you stop growing,
What's life
Yeah,
about at that
exactly.
point?
Yeah.
and I believe the podcast again helps me do that all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a gift to you and other people, though.
I honestly think it's a labor of love because we sure are not rich. I'm just saying.
The money hasn't hit it yet, guys.
Oprah hasn't called
Nah.
yet. We
Yeah.
got Kelly Clarkson on standby.
No, but it's your service.
It is my service.
It is your
Yeah.
service. Like
It is.
and you're evolving with where technology has went, where the landscape has went, and you're giving back in a different area. And
It
it
is.
doesn't have to be
And that was our whole
in
point.
a room of an AA meeting.
Yeah. And that was our whole point was
It really hits home when someone approaches you and says, your whatever episode
Yeah.
helped me through a really dark time, and I
that's what it's
appreciate it. So
about.
I'm just like, really? Me?
and then when I
mean,
had somebody
on one
tell me
side,
it's-
it makes it like, oh, all this weight.
Yeah.
But it's awesome at the end of the day.
It feels
you
like
know.
pressure in some ways.
A little
Yeah.
bit, because it's, am I that? I don't know what the word is.
But it's
Influential or
important or influential. Yeah.
honestly, for me, I'm always just so fucking grateful.
Yeah.
And one person, a good friend of mine, told me that the podcast really saved this other person's life.
Really.
Yeah. And I was really tired at the time, really tired. The training, the job.
Oh, yeah.
And then driving.
There's nothing harder than starting a new job.
It isn't, especially when you've always been the last 25 years,
Yeah.
you've been the boss.
Yeah.
So when you start the job, they kiss your ass because you're the boss. Nobody was kissing. It was very humbling, but in a good way.
Yeah.
I don't worry about people's payroll. I don't worry about
Yeah.
if you're over your break. not my
Not my
issue.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
love
nice
it.
not to have that pressure.
It is,
Yeah.
and not have to worry about staffing or attendance or just my own.
Yep.
It's a whole new ballpark. It's very liberating in many ways.
Sure.
Especially as I go into my golden years. Mhm.
Our golden
Yeah, you deserve
years.
not so much anxiety from
Yeah.
a job.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't feel, I work hard, but I don't feel stressed or pressured. And then literally my company, like they supported 200 nonprofits.
Wow.
And it makes me so proud to be there. And
Yeah.
they're so diversified. The Rainbow Alliance, the allyship, like I can just go on and on. They got some good juju.
Good.
I deserved to be at this place after my
What you've experienced.
Yes,
Yeah.
I really deserved it, I think. And I think God was looking out for me in a big way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he put me on ice a little bit longer for that opportunity. Plus, I got to do the podcast for a year.
Yeah.
You know, what a blessing that was. So, yeah, I'm lucky. So, thank you for coming on a Friday night.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Oh,
I got away from my 3-year-old for an hour or so, which is just a miracle.
I can't even imagine having a 3-year-old. That takes a lot of energy.
It sure does.
Boy or girl?
Girl.
Nice.
I have the patience now to deal with her, but not the energy.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I didn't have I had the energy, but not the patience. It's just flipped. It's all right.
But like he said, it's a blessing in itself. I
Yeah.
love that. I
Yeah.
love that. So for our listeners, I met Megan through our meeting
Yeah.
because she brought my friend Darrell, who's now passed. Darrell was on our show, but every time you brought him, I'd always get up.
I know. Every time.
Every time because Darrell was at my first meeting. And I love Darrell.
Yeah.
Just like there's some people, and it's crazy because he was one of, I call him my foundation, but I've lost 5 of them in 6 months. Yeah, it's insane to me. But guess what? They all died sober. And honestly, if you racked up their years
Yeah.
together, holy crap.
Yeah. And Darrell was struggling with going out to the hospital a lot. And it was like his fear to pass there. And just the way it worked out, like he came back from the hospital and that night he had passed, knowing that probably the next day he was going to have to get sent back out. So it was like poetic the way it happened.
Yes.
He was at his home. He was with everybody that loved him. And
I love that.
It couldn't have been a better situation.
God was looking out for him.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Those last days were hard. So it's good that he has some peace and like,
Well, that's what I always think too. It's just like Barry. Barry went to sleep on his couch.
Yeah.
Like, how great is
yes,
that?
take me out that
I
way.
know. Look, me too.
Please,
Me
please.
too. I know this though, and I'm confident and not cocky, but confident that I will die sober.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind. I know that I will go through turmoil, challenges, and whatnot, but I have no urge to be a part of that world ever again.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's making recovery just part of my life.
Yeah.
That it's just my
It
life
just
now.
is. It's
There
second
isn't.
nature. Yep.
It used to be siloed, and I'd have all these little this over here and that over there. No, it's my life.
Yep.
And I think that makes a big difference. That just came about within the last couple of years, really.
Or it doesn't feel like a chore or a task. It just
Yeah.
is.
It just is what
It
it
came
is.
about
Yeah.
since I entered his life.
We'll give her the credit.
It's not. It's his own. We can put it that way. It's about the timing of you coming to our meeting as well.
Well, and it's when you get the people established in your life that the friendships are there, and that's part of the recovery. And you just have an established routine and
Yeah.
people. And
I'm
that's
actually
when
going
it
to give
starts-
my sponsor the credit. I think him and Peter hooking up and them going to my meeting.
And that was probably the
turning
beginning
point.
of the turning point for me was that one, that was the time when I got introduced to the Lunch Bunch,
Yeah.
where I felt fully comfortable to
Yes.
be my true
Yeah.
self. Whereas up until that point, at other meetings that I was going to, I'd never felt that comfortable or confident. And also the people in the rooms were just like me, and they had very similar experiences.
I have never, ever walked into that room and felt like I was judged, anybody else was judged. I've never felt so welcome. It's a lot of the reasons why NA weren't a big part of my recovery in the beginning is because I did lean on medication-assisted treatment. And depending on the rooms you're in, it can feel highly scrutinized. And I have the first time I walked into that room, I think it was Roger, came right up to me, and it's just,
It was Roger, daddy.
And it's amazing though. And every time I have a client right now who is, I cannot do meetings, it's, will you just try this meeting? Especially if they're part of the LGBTQ community. It's, will you just try? Because I think it's even said in that meeting, we don't care how you get here, just come.
We don't care. And we don't care who you are.
Yeah. Or what you're doing, or if you're bettering yourself, even if you're not right now, just be here.
And can I tell you, when I went to started at that meeting, it was all men, right?
Really?
And they were so flippin' nice to me.
Yeah.
Here I am, this bitch coming out of prison for the escort service. We couldn't have been more different.
Yeah.
And they just made me have a safe place. And every day they would be like, are you coming back tomorrow?
Yep.
And honestly, had they not asked, I might.
Probably wouldn't have.
Yeah, I might not have. I had to get my slip signed still. But,
I might have signed it.
Actually, I never cheated.
Wow.
Yeah, I actually was the opposite. And I just wanted off parole. But I was supposed to go to 3 meetings and I went to 5.
Good for you.
And then Darrell was there on a Friday. I had a really hard time on the weekends. And I would take
a lot of people do.
I would take a deep breath, I swear to God, on Friday after the meeting and wait until Monday and exhale. And I would stay with just my grandfather and Cassandra. Like if my grandfather wanted to drive here, I would drive him there or drive there. And on a Friday, I had a breakdown and I couldn't breathe. I was like, I really have a hard time on the weekends. And they were like, it's okay. We'll show up tomorrow. And 5 of them came on Saturday and Sunday. That's the only reason we have the meeting on Saturday and Sunday. And the only reason the meeting's at 1, there's no reason for the meeting to be at 1 on Sunday now. But in the old church that we were in, there was service.
Oh, so you had to wait.
We'd go to service and then we'd go to the meeting. That's the only reason the meeting's at 1. And it's like,
and it still
it's
is
funny
to
how
this
things
day.
become routine and there's no reason. It just is that way. And then you find out why.
And it was great because there was 5 of them and they would be like, okay, we got 10 minutes each. And you'd have to, but it really was really good for me, the small meeting. And my trust grew even more that they cared enough.
Yeah.
That they would come on the freaking weekend.
There's something about that meeting that you can't put into words, that is just a feeling when you come, when you leave, when you're there, that I wish everybody could experience.
It is. And then what I love is that once you're doing well, right?
Yeah.
And you're sober for a while, you get a job.
Yeah.
And then you can go to extended family.
Yes.
And that, my friend Jen.
It's like the graduation.
It is. And my friend Jen started extended family because that's exactly what happened to her. And extended family was not my meeting, but I would say has become my go-to because I can't go to lunch bunch except for on Sunday at 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just crazy. Like that meeting.
I love it.
So how you said medicated assistant treatment. I love that because we've only talked about that one other time.
Yeah.
And that was with Connard.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it did him right.
Yeah.
And I know for some people it does help because you don't have to go through the withdrawals.
Yeah.
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 So how'd you get started? Yeah.
Yeah. When I got started on medication assisted treatment, I
meant how'd you get started to get in there?
Do you want to talk about the whole thing?
Do you?
Let's start there. Really, I always knew I was different. I was a big emotions, angry kid, sad. I was always told I needed to have a bigger skin or thicker skin. And so I always knew something was different. And then I think it was middle school, somebody gave me their Adderall for the first time. And I was like, oh, this actually, I feel normal. And that kind of evolved to in my early 20s. Cocaine was the first time I really realized that something could grab a hold of me, and it scared me.
So damn expensive.
And cocaine was the first time I started doing shady shit for drugs too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know about that. Shady shit.
Never did it for me. So
Crack never did it for me, but cocaine did back then.
So same.
Yeah.
So cocaine didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
I tried crack one time and I was like, nah, this makes me jittery. Forget this.
Yeah.
And then the money you have to spend on cocaine
so
to keep getting
expensive.
high is ridiculous. And so for me, $20 of meth and you're high for 3 days. It was a bargain deal. Yeah. And it wasn't as jittery. That's crazy though.
I didn't love uppers. I come to find out throughout the years, they just stabilized me in a lot of ways. I definitely have some ADD like tendencies, but coke I went pretty hard at for quite a while. What happened, my addiction really kicked off with, I got hurt and got prescribed oxycodone. No, it was hydrocodone. And at the same time, I met this
Is that
guy.
Vicodin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look,
It's always a guy though, right? That does it. And he was like, oh, my friend's mom wants those Vicodin. I'll trade you these oxycodones for your Vicodin. And I knew I was getting a good deal. So it's like, why not?
That's funny.
Yeah.
Again, a bargain deal. No,
I love the bargain deal. Turns out we end up dating and he just has pills. And all summer we were doing all these pills, fentanyl patches. And it never even crossed my mind that it wasn't going to be like coke when I stop. You're going to feel it's not fun, but
you're going to be tired and come down.
Never even crossed my mind until one day we were all together and he got a phone call from his mom. He had been stealing her pills.
Yikes.
She had a stockpile because she's very sick of 14 bottles of 480 oxy. We had went through all of her stockpile plus her prescription for that month. And I'm just finding this out. It was a nightmare. And I've never been so sick in my life ever. That was the beginning of my opiate addiction. I couldn't stop. Even.
Were you in physical pain?
Yeah, it was the most awful.
Know that opiates are foreign to me.
Yeah.
I'm being serious. Even with getting really sick, they tried to put me on a bunch of stuff, and I was just scared.
Yeah, you should be.
There was one that was called oxycarbazendazine or whatever, and it wasn't oxycodone. Yeah. But because it started with oxy, I was like, fuck no. And I have 600 of them, and I'm afraid to dispose.
You're right to be weary of everything.
And then gabapentin, I felt like a horse out in the fucking pasture.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no. And they gave me 4 300s. And I was like, not doing this. Yeah. And so then it was like samaritriptan or whatever, because I had nerve damage in my face and my ear. And it was like, not doing this, because it said, you can only have 9 pills a month. And I'm like, what kind of fucking medication can you only take 9 pills a month? Seriously. So I went to acupuncture and massage.
Yeah, if you
because I was scared. And I also was like, I was scared just because I've been to so many meetings where the person said they had surgery and they took some pills and that's what sent them back out. So I was scared in a good way. And,
no, you're right to be.
And so now even though there's pain there, I'm like, you just have a bad knee and some days it's good and sometimes it's bad. That's the way I try to program my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With my cancer treatment, they put me on fentanyl patches.
Yes.
And I was so leery about that, but I was in so much pain.
No, you had to. Yeah.
So when I got through them, the pain abated. I just stopped because I was like, I was just like, I gotta be off this. Well, that's not what you want to do.
No, it's not. Sure not.
And I ended up having those horrible.
Did you feel it?
Yes,
you
big
know.
time. And so they put me back on it and then gradually weaned me off of it. But that was a horrible feeling in time.
The fentanyl patches, first we would eat them, not put them on our skin. We would chew them and eat them.
Whoa.
And
I learn something new every week. No, last week I learned there was a drug called Spice. The only thing I knew about Spice was like Old Spice and my sponsor.
Or the
liked
Spice
it.
Girls.
Marijuana, isn't it? Spice. Yeah, we would chew them, eat them, smoke them, anything that you're not supposed to do. I have
never heard that.
Everything, all of my traumas, all of my anxieties, it literally, you know that feeling when you're on an elevator and it gets your stomach. Woo.
Yeah.
It was that like a warm hug, and I was hooked. And I don't even know if it wasn't the withdrawals, if I would have been able to stop, because it just solved something for me that I was looking for so many years. Yeah.
I do understand. I do. Being an IV drug user, it was the same. When you got high, it was like whoosh, right? Yeah. And then you were on a different balance, for lack of said. And it's crazy because some drugs make people psychotic or whatever. I had so much courage.
Yeah.
I was like fucking Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Do not fuck with me. It's crazy. I think of some of the things and I'd be like, really? You did that? Like,
Meth made me that way for sure.
That's how I was. Yeah. I was like,
but when I was doing meth, it was out of a necessity of being alone on the streets and needing to be Superwoman. And
same.
Yeah.
Not on the street. When you say on the streets, I always got high before I did an escort call.
Oh yeah.
I never once did I ever do an escort call and not be high.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like your prerequisite. It was like some people taking their vitamins in the morning. Yeah. I couldn't imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went from pills to then there was no more pills. So what are you going to do? And went and jumped on methadone, which was, for me, not for everybody, probably one of the biggest mistakes of my life.
Because you liked it?
You're just, a methadone clinic, for the most part, is not meant to help you find recovery. In fact, if you're trying to get off methadone, they try to discourage it in every way possible and make it really hard for you to do that.
Wow.
In my experience, I'm not saying every methadone clinic's like that. I know it saves a lot of lives and I have no judgment, but my experience was it wasn't there to be supportive. And I ended up on it for a lot of years. Yeah, I was on it for probably 6 years-ish. But I started to put my life back together somewhat. I had a daughter by then and was raising her. Yeah, and so in some ways, I guess it was good, but my dose was really high. I've never been one to get high off of things other people do. Like methadone never made me nod or anything like that. But I also wasn't hanging out with the best of people because of the methadone clinic, not making the best of decisions.
Girl, is that
and my parents were seeing this and I'm living with them with my young daughter and they're just like, and I am 23, no better.
You don't know any better.
So I left with my daughter and went to a homeless shelter to go get like my own apartment because I just wanted to be by myself, and ended up meeting a guy in the homeless shelter that we were in a relationship in a way. He was a severe alcoholic. We were only together for a very short period of time, but he broke my jaw, my eye.
Oh my gosh.
He like coerced me and moved all my furniture and kept me in a house. He ended up going to prison for 7 years for what he did.
Oh my goodness.
And so you would think that would wake me up. I just kept digging deeper and deeper. Ended up shortly after giving my daughter to my mom. Then met another guy. And throughout the years, I would never touch heroin. Everybody would be like, we don't have pills. I have heroin. I'll do heroin. And I just would never. I just drew the line there. But I met another guy and he was a heroin addict and I moved him in my house. And within days.
Girl, your pickers was broken.
Oh, girls, it still is.
Okay. We're going to have to talk about this.
It's never been that broke. Yeah, but within days, I was full-blown heroin addict for many years.
They say after, I think it's 3 or 5 consecutive days, you get sick.
Yeah, I ended up getting kicked off methadone because I had heroin in my system, which was probably the best thing that could have happened because your overdose risk when you have both of them in your system is like huge.
Yeah.
Luckily, I've never OD'd. I'm just one of those people with a super high tolerance to everything. Luckily, that probably saved my life.
I'm your alter ego.
Really?
Like I can have orals. I had oral surgery. We were just talking about oral surgery. And they gave me Percocet.
Yeah.
And I went back the next day with, 26 out of 28 pills. And I'm like, I can't take these. I need Vicodin.
Oh my God.
So I can take ibuprofen, and I'd take Vicodin for a day, then go a half of Vicodin and ibuprofen. And pain medication, medicine impacts me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people are like that. The first time
I think it's because I've never done a lot of pills.
Probably.
Yeah.
The first time I did heroin, I shot it the first time and shot $50 worth of heroin, which is just most people would be dead on the ground. Part of that is because I had a tolerance from the methadone, but part of it's just like I'm like super.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's expensive when you're a drug addict to have that problem.
It is. When I was in the escort service, there was this girl, and this is a gross story, but she turned green.
Oh, wow.
Like literally green from not doing it. And
From coming down off it.
Yeah. And she did a lot. I'd say $150, $200 a day. And I was like freaking out just watching her. And I told the escort service owner, she can go on a call next one. I just wanted to get rid of her. But I was like overwhelmed. Yeah.
People always ask, what does that feel like a severe opiate detox? There's nothing you can say to make people understand it. Like you can describe symptoms and it seems bad, but there's nothing worse. There just
I
is
actually
nothing
understand
worse.
it, and I've never done it.
Yeah.
I've said this before. I was in Justice Center.
Oh yeah.
And the lady next to me was detoxing off of it, and hearing her.
Yep.
And seeing what she went through, and
done
just
that a few
everything.
times at the Justice Center.
Look, scared the living bejesus out of me. I wanted her just to stop moaning and screaming and getting sick. And it was really scary. So I think I don't know what it feels like.
Yeah.
But I do have a close-up vision, and I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
No. And besides what you feel like when I've detoxed, and it's from alcohol mostly, but there's this whole mental side that you can't even, the feelings that you have and the despair is the best way I can describe it, but it's even more than that.
Yeah.
That you can't, unless you experience it, you can't relate.
You can't describe to somebody. Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think of where we were at. Oh, I met that guy.
Creeper.
Before I met him, I lived together. So I got the apartment from the homeless shelter. I was working at the apartments. They hired me to be an assistant manager. And slightly before I met him, I got a management position at another apartment complex. And then I just literally within, I would say 30 days, I had lost everything. And
it takes so much to get all that.
Yeah.
And then.
And was stealing quarters from the laundry machine at the apartments and got caught. So I lost my job. We ended up moving in with his dad, and to support our habits, we were selling a lot of heroin and had drug task force after us. It got pretty gnarly out.
I know them.
Yeah. They know me.
It's actually called the DEA.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Drug enforcement agents.
They would call us and be like, we'll get you motherfuckers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We ended up getting raided. He went to jail. I had nowhere to go, and I was out on the streets. No money, no anything in the winter by myself. I knew no one, couldn't call anybody, because all of the connections I had were because I sold them heroin. Nobody's not going to let me stay with you. I had no friendships. Luckily, my mom was smart enough to not even let me sleep in her garage. I needed that. It saved my life for sure.
Good for you, Mom.
Yeah. During that whole time,
love.
During that whole time, she was coming to find me to get me. She was in the process of fighting my daughter's dad in court for custody because he was never really around. And my mom was basically the one that raised her. And so during that time, she spent $60,000 fighting him in court, trying to get my daughter and save her.
Love, Mom.
Yeah. I could never, my mom, during that time, I had never hated somebody more in my life, because that's who you think you can turn to. But if I would have been able to, I probably would have killed myself. My dad died right during this time too. He got diagnosed with cancer and was dead within a few months. And I'm getting well in his bathroom while he's dying in the living room. And things really spiraled at that point. My dad was my best friend for a long time. So that was really hard.
Yeah.
Sounds hard.
That point,
Sounds like you have good parents, though.
yeah, I did.
I love that.
Yeah. When I was little, like we went through some shit and you think your traumas are so big until you like experience life.
That's what I'm saying.
And then you're like,
yeah.
okay, well, they fought and a few things happened, but like it wasn't what I thought it was.
shit, yeah.
It's just life.
No,
Yeah.
I hear you. I didn't have that, but I do hear you how like you think your shit is,
Yep.
yeah, you think you're unique.
Yep.
You think you're,
Yeah.
I always thought my story was special.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Yeah.
And we did go through some legit shit, but it wasn't like, yeah, now that I've heard like what other people are like, I had a pretty normal family. My dad worked his ass off 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week.
That loved
you know,
you.
I did.
That's the most important thing.
Yep.
I think there's opportunities, right?
Yep.
But I think, like you said, your dad's working, your mom's there, and protecting the most important thing, your child.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. I'll never be able to thank her enough for what she did for my daughter.
Same. My mom took my daughter for 6 months and 14 days. The time I did in prison.
Yeah.
And I forgave her for a lot of shit after that, just for that. I did. That took like...
For your daughter to not be put in the system, there's nothing.
I already know.
Yeah.
And also, I was mad. I left her with a lot of money to take care of my child because I thought I was going for 2 years. And she spent it all in 6 months.
Oh.
But they went to Hawaii. They went to Canada. They had a good time.
She distracted your kid while you kind of be there.
And my daughter did not hurt for anything. And because of that, I never, ever played a game with my mom about my child. Let's say I was mad at my mom.
Yeah, you can't see her.
I would never do that. I'd be like, her game's at 4 on Saturday. You know what I'm saying?
Don't talk to me.
I actually would never do that because of my daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think because it was done to me.
Yeah.
I just never played those games. And my daughter thanks me all the time. Thanks for not ever keeping me from my dad and my nan and whatnot. And I was like, because my mom kept me from my dad.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to be that person. And she never talked nice about my dad. So I never talked bad about Cassandra.
That's so big not to do that.
It is. It is. So I understand. So now you're homeless.
Yeah.
You're on the street.
Yeah. Scared
No
to death.
heroin.
Yeah. I kicked heroin on... I met up with a girl that I went to the methadone clinic and she gave me a little bit of methadone, and through her, I just meet this guy and ended up laying on his floor and kicked heroin for 10 days, probably.
Wow.
Yeah. I was lucky I had a roof over my head because I was scared to death, but I didn't have a place to stay beyond that. And so I learned really quick that the only way to get through the nights was to be awake and to not lay down or go to sleep. Even though I was like a bigger girl, like you'll still get fucked with out there. You just will. And this was on like 82nd area. So guess what I picked up really quickly was that I could sell myself and I didn't need anybody else. And so that happened pretty quickly once I started out there.
It is. Yeah.
Yep.
Girl, I understand.
Yep.
I understand. And it's a lonely place.
Yeah.
Very lonely.
Yep. I was scared to death too the first time. Like I'm
scared to death of 82nd.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, prostitution has evolved, but me and my friend Jen, I'm never up at 10 o'clock. I'm definitely not on 82nd.
Yeah.
Okay. But we had gone out to see Al and celebrate his 43rd birthday. And then we were dropping off soup at my friend in AA's house because he had a cold. And he lives off 93rd and Sandy.
Yeah.
And Jen says,
It's my neighborhood.
Yeah, she goes, do you want to go down 82nd? This is just 2 weeks ago. And I said, what are you saying? I said, there's a lot of hookers out tonight. And I said, really? And I was like, prostitution is illegal on 82nd and Sandy. And she goes, girl, it is thriving.
Yeah, it's not legal, but they're not doing anything about it.
You know what? And I think because other things are so bad now.
Yeah.
Because when I was involved with the escort service, they were cracking down on 82nd and Sandy.
They were when I was out there too. That's why I quickly got a motel room and a back page and all that, because they were setting stings, and not on the men, on these women that are only out there because they have nothing else that they can do. Let's get the men. If there weren't men seeking this, the women wouldn't be doing it. Like, you're targeting the wrong side of the operation.
And then they give you immunity if you testify, which is crazy. They do it in the escort service too. But like 2 weeks ago, there was like 4 at McDonald's on Fremont and 82nd. Then at the Estates Hotel on that corner, there was 2. And there were some pretty girls and they're live streaming on the corner. And I'm like, no, I was shocked.
I'll tell you a secret. If they're all dressed up and look like prostitutes, they're not from in town. They're out of town, usually with pimps, staying in local motels. When they're just in sweats and a t-shirt, that's the local girls.
Wow.
I did not know that.
Oh, yeah. I didn't.
And I have to
general rule. Of course, some of the girls that are local go out there dressed up sometimes, but for the most part.
Well, in general rule, girl on 82nd, most of them are pimped.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I was for a hot second. You're not going to knock it when you're new out there. You're like the fresh meat. And this guy's, I can do this for you and I can do this for you. And I quickly learned, okay, so I could give you my money and hope I get drugs, or I could keep my money and buy my drugs myself.
Can I tell you?
Thank you.
So
I had to run from him though, because it wasn't acceptable that I wasn't going to do it.
So for the escort service, I wasn't giving my money to no one. And so that's why I got in so much trouble. I just decided I would own the escort service and it would be easier.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to do the calls and you would just collect your service fee.
That's probably a bigger charge than
it is. Yeah. Look, it's a way bigger charge. And
the harder you fall, the higher you are.
It's a way bigger charge and comes with a little bit of racketeering as well.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
Yeah. No, but that must have been scary.
It was terrifying. And I was terrified the whole time. And it was meth that really allowed me to keep going for a lot of it.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. And the other thing I understand, and I don't judge, what you do drunk, what you do high, is not what my core values. I am so picky and such a fucking bougie bitch.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. I have a list now from here to Salem of your requirements. Seriously. And
when I see those girls out there though, I know my story and I see that in every one of them. Nobody's out there because they're doing great and it's all trauma. They're all terrified. Even the girls that you wouldn't think are. They're all out there scared to death.
No, I agree with you.
You know?
And I agree with you with trauma. I want you to know that I didn't know that. So not admitting, never admitted until I'm 55 that I was molested.
Yeah.
And then I got really sick, physically, mentally, whatever. And the doctor sent me to the shrink and I had told one person I was molested and it was my first sponsor and he died 3 months later. So I'm like, my shit's good. For real. And it was during COVID. Yeah. And I never wanted it to define me. Yeah. I just didn't want to. I never talked to my daughter about it, nothing. And when they sent me to the shrink and she said, have you ever been touched? And I started bawling and why are you asking me that? She's, you don't have to answer. I already know. And then realizing that because of that, you're set up for prostitution. Yeah. You're set up because sex, you're used to that. You're conditioned to it.
It's transactional.
It is. Yeah. And I have to tell you, I would like to tell you emotionally, I have the husband in the white picket fence or the wife in the white picket fence or whatever. I don't really calculate like that to this day. Yeah. I calculate being successful, being honest, being sober, those things are the first things that come to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never even talked about sex work at all in my story and really tried to decide whether I would tonight or not. But I just think there's so many girls that fall prey to it, especially in heroin, meth addiction, that
especially
it's
money. You're addicted to that fast money.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I was making money. Yeah.
Girl, I got arrested with over $250,000.
Oh, my Lord.
Yes. So I understand. And honestly, coming out, working for $17 or $18.
It's insulting.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's funny. I told myself when in the early stages of getting clean that I would always, if my daughter needs a prom dress, I'll turn a trick. I'll always do this. And it's funny, once you're clean, it's, oh my God, I could never.
I could never.
But you're so ingrained in what you've been doing that you see no issues. I don't know. It's just complicated. But I had told myself,
not complicated.
If I needed something, this is always a thing I could turn to if I had to.
Yeah. Backup job.
Yeah, right.
It's a mindset, that fast money.
Yeah.
is addicting.
Yep.
We had Crimenon on.
Yes.
And I think that it's as addictive as the drug.
I think the status is just as addictive as the money too.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. And I do appreciate you talking about this because how cold.
Yeah.
How sad. Just, I make light of it sometimes and joke about it.
I do too.
But in all actuality, the saddest, the loneliest, the most untrusting I ever was when I was the richest.
Yeah.
And whatnot. And I trusted no one.
Yeah.
And I might make it seem pretty, but how can it be pretty?
Yeah.
You don't love this.
Who might be listening that are in those situations. Maybe it's one of those girls on the corner you saw.
Yeah.
Maybe this will help them.
Yeah.
Be able
that's
to come to
That's
terms.
the hope. Sharing anything when you've come so far and like you're not attached to that part of yourself anymore.
Yeah.
The sharing it is just,
I can't even fathom that was me sometimes.
Yeah.
It's been a long time that even, I think that's why I can make light of it.
For sure.
Is because that's another person. It's been so long and fentanyl didn't even exist when I got high.
Yeah.
Okay. And I didn't know spice and Jesus, the stuff. Yeah.
Monkey snot.
Yeah.
That's another one we learned about.
Are learning a lot. I'm just telling you. But I also know it would take 2 seconds if I used to know how to, I'm street smart.
Yeah. I'll figure it all out.
Yeah. Look, it would take 2 seconds and I know that, but I'm glad. So I want to know how I got out better.
Yeah. There was a point where.
And I want you to know how much I appreciate you for this.
I appreciate you.
We don't always talk about this, and I think it's an important subject.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, there's a kind of a funny part to it. I was with the same boyfriend that I started heroin with. He had gotten out of jail and found me in the motels. He really wanted nothing to do with me, but I had a lot of money then, so I could support his habit. And my mom and my sister hated him in their eyes. He stole me from my daughter and them, and they blamed him in a lot of ways for a lot of things. And it was pretty predatory the way some of it happened. And so my sister found he had an offer up and he was trying to sell some stuff. So she made an offer up of this like really hot chick and went to buy the stuff that he was selling and set him up with the cops. And
I love your sister. I love your sister so much.
So once he went to jail.
That is some shit.
Yeah, no, it was how ingenious. Savage as hell. Yeah.
Now, was this the guy that broke your...
No, that was just a temporary thing.
Okay.
Yeah. But so he went to jail and that kind of, I went back to lonely. And honestly, what ended up happening is I was like at a trap house, like an abandoned house with some people. And this is graphic, but I started coughing up like huge amounts of blood and I was dying. What had happened was I choked on a piece of meat, and when you're out in the streets and stuff, you're not very clean. There was like a bacteria in my mouth that went into my airway, got into my lung and ate a hole through my lung the size of a baseball.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And so I was in quarantine ICU. They thought it was tuberculosis. For 9 weeks, I went into a coma and my body really couldn't take the
medication
and the withdrawals on top of it. So they put me on methadone. And so I woke up from that on methadone and I'd swore to myself I would never be on methadone again. So I stayed into the hospital to switch onto Suboxone, which was a nightmare. I ended up getting put into precipitated withdrawals because they gave me the Suboxone too soon, which is like the most intense withdrawals you've ever felt in your entire life. It's so bad that it doesn't even feel like withdrawals. It just feels like you're dying.
Wow.
For our listeners, that's what Matthew Perry died from.
Oh, really?
Suboxone, yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And I got onto Suboxone. I stayed clean for a while and ended up going to, after a while, I got into inpatient treatment. I had a few hospital stays in that time where I went septic and almost died. And I just knew this one, like there wasn't going to be another hospital stay where I came out of it. And to wake up to my family by my side, I knew that I had to do something different.
You better celebrate your mother on Mother's Day.
I do.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. If she wants a fucking pedicure, you better do it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do. I'm really grateful for her. And I got clean, went to treatment, went to Oxford House. Oxford House is a huge part of my recovery.
I fucking love Oxford House. They've been on our show.
Yeah, I
awesome.
cannot tell people in early recovery enough what clean and sober housing, I don't care what the denomination of clean and sober housing is. If you can do that for yourself for 2 years, your chances of staying clean, there's statistics on it. You go up like
our
90%.
Dude that was here last week, right?
Yeah.
Justin Rye, shout out Justin, said the same thing.
Yeah.
He said
it's life-changing
He
in
said
early
the
recovery.
structure,
Yeah.
the UAs, having to go to meetings. He wouldn't have done it on his own.
Nope.
I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay. And here's the other thing. When I hear people, and I'm going to sound cold and I don't care.
No, it's fine.
No. But when you tell me that you're houseless, homeless, or whatever, that is your choice.
Yeah.
Okay. At this point in time, there's enough where you go to another chance, they're going to get you in clean and sober housing.
Oh, yeah. I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. You do not have to be there. So once you're clean, you have choices.
Yeah.
Okay. And I do agree with you. That is the way to go. 100. I'm so
For
glad
sure.
I was on parole and I had to pee in a cup.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they made me get the slip sign and go to the meetings, because if I didn't have to go, would I have gone?
Yeah. I had about a year clean, maybe a little bit more, 18 months ish. And I decided I was ready to move out, but it took a while to get everything in place. And before I had even moved out, I was using again because I just knew that I wasn't going to have the accountability anymore. And it's just crazy what, I don't know if we can cuss, but the mind, you know,
can say whatever
the
the
mind
fuck
that,
you want.
that is when you just know you're not going to have the accountability anymore.
Can I tell you, that's what I was worried about.
Yeah.
That's why I stayed.
Yeah.
I was so scared
Yeah.
that I would fuck up if I left AA.
Yeah.
I was like scared that I would go back to prison. I would lose my child. I would lose everything I worked for. And I was doing it the honest way, the hard way. And I was scared, seriously scared. And
you need fear in that time in your life. You just do.
I still have fear. Yeah.
A healthy amount of fear is so good. No, it really is. I got an apartment with somebody who lived there. She had just gotten out of prison. We were using meth before we even left. We got a place in Beaverton because we were at a sales company out there who knew we were getting high and really supported it because we got more sales when we were using.
Jeez. Oh my gosh.
No, it's serious.
Skylar Ray says the same thing.
Yeah.
Says he doubled his sales when he was high.
No, I would sell. I was top seller every week that I was using out there. Yeah.
Wow. Gift of gab.
Yeah. But I was functioning, kept my place. But pretty soon, my mom got married. I ruined her wedding because I was so high and benzoed out that I made a big fucking scene. I didn't ruin the wedding, but I made a scene at her wedding, and it's not good memories after she's done all this shit for me. It was really my daughter though. When I got clean and I had that year, she's probably like 14 at that point. She never fathomed that it was possible that it didn't stay that way. And so when she saw me slipping and falling apart and was seeing these things, like her heart was absolute broken. So I knew I didn't need inpatient again, but I needed to go get my shit together. So I went to detox and I thought I was kicking meth and benzos. It was fentanyl, benzos, meth. That was probably one of the toughest detoxes I've ever done.
I don't think there's real drugs anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything's
That's when
fentanyl.
everything was turning.
Yeah.
This was like 2018, 2019. So selfish addict mother decided that on my daughter's birthday, I would check into treatment. So that was my clean date.
For her birthday present?
Yeah. But so for the rest of her life, she has to share her birthday with my clean date. That was like a pretty...
I don't know. I actually can see that.
Yeah.
Like I can see...
At the time, I thought it was a great idea. Now I'm like, I just shrink about my clean date so that it's her day. But I got clean. I went back to clean and I knew what worked. I needed to go back to Oxford. I needed to... Really giving back has always been what keeps me clean and has changed my life. And after being at Oxford for a short period of time, I was offered the position at our house. My best friend from treatment was working there. And honestly, she called me and was like, this really good job. And it was a lot of money at the time, but you needed a driver's license. I hadn't quite gotten all my ducks in a row. And I was like, oh, you should call X, Y, and Z. She'd be great for that. I'm calling you, bitch. And you need to apply for this job. And that was like the first time I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And I did. And I got the job. And it's been life-changing for me.
Can I tell you, I think it's my first year of recovery.
Yeah.
I think so. I can't tell you for sure. Okay. Darrell, it's on one of those Saturdays or Sundays, okay, that they had for me. And Darrell invited us over to our house to have the meeting. And it was like 78 degrees out. It was just beautiful. And we sat on the patio. My sponsor was there. Darrell was there. Todd B was there. Like, who else? There was 5 of us.
Yeah.
And somebody comes in from our house and brings these big fucking chocolate brownies.
I remember this.
And Darrell's like, do you want one? And I was like, yeah. And it was so good that he gave me another one. But we had a meeting that day. And me and my sponsor, I took him home after the meeting. And we said, was that not the most perfect day and the perfect meeting? And it was. I can't tell you what
There's something special about that place.
It is. And it was like that meeting, like, is why every time Darrell went to a meeting, I'd get up and give him a kiss and a hug. That meeting stayed with me for a long time. You don't always have that peaceful moment and that serenity. And that day,
especially early in recovery.
And it was a lot. And Todd, this guy, he has 54 years sober now, 55. And he was an ass my first year. He used to piss me off. I'd be going through some shit and he'd be like, I don't have any problems. And I'd be like, well, fuck you. And he'd be like, I give him to God. And I'd be like, fuck you. And he'd piss me off with what he would say sometimes the entire week. Like, I'd think about it. And everything he said is true.
Yeah.
But
that's why it bugged you, though.
But I didn't know then at that time. But that day, whatever he said, he was kind and he was thoughtful. And it was like everything that day. And my sponsor too. And Darrell, it was just like, I was like, how did I get to be here? And it was stuff like that made me never want to leave them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that meeting so well. And I'm sitting here crying, but they're happy tears.
Yeah.
Because I knew that they loved me unconditionally. And
you have such a cool relationship with a lot of those men.
And they're all gay. They don't want to sleep with me.
Yeah. Isn't that always nice?
It is, because believe it or not, and I don't mean this to sound conceited in any way, but I got game. If I go to a straight meeting, somebody will give me their number awkwardly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll be like, and I won't take your number or call you. I'll be like, no, bro.
I'm not here for this.
Yeah. And and I don't know if it's because of the clients with the escort service. I don't know what it is, but it's not necessarily a comfortable. There's exceptions to that rule, but it's not a comfortable thing for me to this day.
Yeah.
There's this one guy that goes to our meeting and always rubs my shoulder. And I'm always like, what the fuck? And he's straight. Yeah. And I was like, bro. And it's just, I think it's something that's going to be with me for the rest of my life. If I like you, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Like I said, but yeah, I do.
I think a lot of women experience that when they're coming into their rooms in the beginning. I think that's why another reason I want people to go to this meeting. There's just something different.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And my first meeting was an NA meeting. And I say this all the time. I went there and somebody was fucking high as fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and you want me to be here? And I walked out in the middle of the meeting. And the next day I went to that meeting.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, nobody's high. Yeah. And I didn't like NA because of that. I don't like CMA.
The other thing too, I think with the lunch bunch and extended family is it's an AA meeting, but it's really a meeting for addicts.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what your flavor is.
Yep.
And it's inclusive.
Yes.
And you never, no matter who you are, where you come from, you don't feel.
A lot of times when your main issue was addiction, not alcoholism, when you go to, you're like, what kind of meeting am I at? Am I saying Megan, addict, alcoholic? What am I saying? I don't even think about it.
You
there.
have to worry about what you're saying.
Because people will call you out or be mad.
I chaired a meeting for a lady in our group, and I went there, and right before the meeting, it was like, remember, we only talk about alcohol and death.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa. And I've never been a drinker.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not my thing. And
how inauthentic to be forced to say something
and so then I'm sitting with these ladies, and most of them are from her church. And I'm like, so I'm not going to talk about alcohol. So I'm going to share my story that I went to prison, and that's how I got sober.
Yeah.
And I did. And I was like, it was, they were nice. I will say they treated me well, but I was on edge the whole meeting.
Yeah.
And I think to our listeners, you got to find the meeting that's right for you.
Have to.
Yeah. And it's out there. You just got to keep looking if you can't,
and
if you don't find
our meeting might not be for you, but you got to find a meeting that's like our meeting.
Yeah.
And I found another one like our meeting.
Really?
Yes. Believe it or not. And shout out. It's a 7:00 meeting on Friday nights, and I'm here.
You keep running into that.
Yeah. No, I'm here, and it's called We Need Each Other.
Okay.
And it's one night a week on Fridays at 7 p.m. It's online only. But what I love is they say, I couldn't believe this. I couldn't believe anybody did this. And it's probably the best run meeting I've ever been to.
Really?
Yeah. First, the phone list guy is there every Friday. And he says, do you need our phone list? Do you want me to put it on it? No one does that at every meeting, hardly.
Yeah.
Then they say, do you need a call this week? Put your number in the chat and we'll make sure you get a call. And I'm like, really?
So that people don't have to say, yeah, me. They can just,
and there's these two ladies that call the people during the week. Bless their souls.
Wow.
Yeah. And anyway, so there is another one. And my point in that is that keep looking, because I found a couple now.
Yeah.
I found Unshakable Foundation at 10 p.m. Have a hard time staying up for that one.
Yeah.
I can go to it on a holiday, meaning the next day is a holiday. But I found a few, and you just got to find the right one. And I will tell you, my friend John tricked me over prime rib, meaning he fed me good. But he had me chair this meeting, and it was online, and it was people straight from prison or gangs in California. And what I realized in that meeting, I went to prison too.
Those are my people.
And I was like, I'm just like you. Yeah. I'm no better. You're just in sober housing right now. And I told him, follow the fucking rules, man. Yeah, don't try to one-up the program. You're only one-upping yourself.
Yeah.
Is that not true?
It is true.
It is. If you can't play by the rules, there's rules everywhere you go. There's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your medication, you had to play by the rules and do it. Like everything, I feel accountability and organization is the key for me. Yeah. I love having a routine.
Yeah. I was brought up Catholic, and it's not like people say religious trauma. Like I wasn't traumatized, but when you're forced to view spirituality in this very narrow lens, it felt a little traumatic. Like I couldn't get with the God thing. And depending on the meeting that you're in, that is very important. And the lunch bunch just made me view it so differently. I really searched in early recovery, refuge recovery. Smart recovery, tried to go to all these different meetings.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I just struggled with that. And it is the very important part in the beginning. And so the way that people framed it in their shares and lunch bunch just made me look at things so differently. And yeah, it was just so helpful to me. And I wasn't that early in recovery. When I started going to lunch bunch, I think I had 4 years, but I'd always taken clients to meetings and really got a lot out of it, but it wasn't a part of my early recovery. I really dove into Oxford and mentored other houses and was surrounded by people in recovery that way and did some meetings, but it didn't become a big part of my life until I saw the benefits to others.
Do you think it enhanced it?
100%. Yeah, 100%. My experience through Lunch Bunch was much different than any other meeting, though, I would say.
So you went there first taking clients like Darrell.
Yes.
And forgetting the other gal.
Marion.
Marion, yes,
yeah.
Marion.
Yep.
We want you on our
Marion,
show.
do you hear us?
Marion, and if you don't know, because I know you've never seen me, like I've met you for a while. You were at our house when I met you, and Izzy brought you to the meeting to chair. And I was Izzy's sponsor at the time.
Wow.
And I just want you to know you do have a story worth sharing. You are a miracle.
Yeah.
Please come on our show.
You are blessed by the best. Now come on the show.
Yeah,
there you go.
I love it. And I love it when she has a smart mouth too.
And she does.
She
too.
does.
She is sassy.
She's sassy and classy.
Yes, she is. All of the above.
So I love the Oxford house.
Yep.
I love that you have a new daughter, a different.
Yeah. I had my second daughter in 2022, December of 2022. She's 3 now. That's been a beautiful experience. I went from having a baby to menopause basically, which has been wild, but to be able to have a baby later in life has been wonderful. For her to never experience
I know.
her dad struggling, and I had to ask him to leave our house because which I never would have done for myself, but I made a decision for her that she was never going to know the pain that my oldest daughter saw. And yeah, you got to go. Yeah.
You have to
Is
chew
he
you.
in recovery then? Or is he out?
He's never identified like as in recovery. He struggled with meth use for a long time and had a good period of clean time, and isn't right now. Yeah.
So let me tell you a little story. So my daughter's father, I met him at Paranoia Park that we were talking about to buy a bag of weed. I was smoking weed because I didn't want to do meth. So that was my that was like the lesser.
Yeah.
And weed doesn't knock me out like some people. It just mellows me the fuck out. So I would meet him in the park every day to get a bag of weed, and we became friends. And then I ended up back on meth. And good dude. Like we were just the best of friends, nothing romantic, but get high, tweaking and freaking and that stuff.
Yep.
So I have my daughter, and I'm there for him while he's in prison. And he was there for me when I was in prison, like solid friendship. And he was sober. He got sober at CODA. And I'm sober coming out of prison and stuff. And he was sober from when she was 3 to 10. So 7 years, 7 good years. We're at basketball games and everything. And then he started missing visiting days. And I said to him, I said, listen, do you need to go back to treatment? And he said, what are you saying? I'm saying, I don't ask you for money. I work, I take care of our child. I don't call your house. I'm not that, that bugaboo, because I'm not in love with you. I love you, but I've never slept with you since I got pregnant. Hello. And I said, I think you need to go back to treatment because you wouldn't miss appointments with your daughter.
Yeah.
No, he said yes. And he waited for a long time to get to VOA because he didn't have insurance. It wasn't like it is now.
Yeah.
And he went to VOA on MLK, and he graduated.
Shout out to that program too.
Yes.
Saved a lot of lives.
Saved Tony V.
Yep.
For 4D. But he graduated, and he went out and got high one time and died. And this is where you get selfish, because was I sad? Yes, for my daughter. But one of us has to be fucking sober to take care of my child.
Yeah.
Let it be me.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. And I'm selfish like that.
Yeah.
When I see somebody pass in the program, I'm so sad. Not like a Darrell thing, but like an OD thing. Sorry, it's you. Glad it's not me.
Yeah.
I get so fucking selfish with that. And it's the same reason why if you're fucking around, I don't fuck with you.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not risking it. Don't risk you. Don't risk your child. If you're out there, who you hang out with is very important.
It is.
I surround myself with winners, and not meaning like fancy houses and stuff like that. But if you're not doing the right thing, I can't hang out with
It goes back to having recovery be your life.
Exactly.
No distinction between the two.
There's people like Justin that was here, and he feels it's his responsibility to help the person that's lost. I feel like it's my responsibility to stay saved.
Yeah.
And that might be selfish. This is my way of giving back and chairing meetings.
Exactly.
And I secretaried. I fucking
it's not everybody's job.
But for me,
Yep.
if you hurt my recovery bubble,
Yeah.
You can't be in that. Does that make sense?
100%.
And I will tell you as a
I should be more selfish that way.
And that's what I'm saying to you, girl. Be as selfish as you need to be. And I will tell you, it's worked for me. And I don't mean that I wouldn't help somebody, but if you're using.
But somebody who doesn't want help is a different.
Yeah, if you're using, I'm not getting you to treatment. But guess what? I'll go to a meeting once. I always say, I'll meet you at a meeting.
On the other side.
I'll meet you at a meeting. That's been my safety. Do you want to? No, but I'll see you at the meeting. I'll be there on Sunday.
That's just having good, healthy boundaries.
It is. And I've kept them for a long time. And I've never, this is crazy, but I've never seen or hung out with anybody from when I was using or prostituting or in prison with. Okay. They like don't exist in my world, which is a nice place to live, but it keeps it very clean. Yeah. There is no gray.
Yep.
There is no gray. Yeah.
I'm curious, speaking of the gray,
50
balance.
Shades.
How do you balance? Because you work in the field.
Yeah.
And so how do you balance that with your recovery?
I recently, last August, I was promoted to manager of the program. So I now oversee the nurses and caseworkers and peer recovery mentors.
Look at you.
Wow,
no, it was huge. They really saw something in me.
I see something in you.
Yeah. No, and I went from low man on the totem pole to managing a whole program with a huge budget and have like really stepped into it. So I get to balance it by giving to clients where I feel I can and then stepping into the manager role when I need to, it's huge for me, but I know that's not possible for all people.
No, but do you feel like the clients are your service work?
Oh, no, 100%.
I see that in you.
Yeah.
I see the relationships.
The relationships are huge. It's hard because when you're a peer mentor, you can be a little less professional than when you manage the program. But I'm just a straight shooter, and I've built relationships with people that I'm like, knock it the fuck off. And I think if other people saw our text message threads, they might be worrisome about it. But I just have relationships with people that I know when they're using, they tell me, we can talk about it. One, seeing people where I once was and I never fucking want to be again does everything for me. Because when you are isolated from that, like you are, Julie, like no offense, but you can start to forget how bad it was. And so walking into somebody's house and seeing it is not that everybody needs that, but it does it for me.
No.
You know?
So I'm going to tell you, I think because on meth, you have heightened awareness.
Yeah.
I don't forget shit.
Yeah.
I remember all the bad shit.
You didn't do all the benzos I did.
Yeah. And because I didn't drink, I didn't wake up in a bed and not remember.
Yeah.
I blacked out a lot. So
I fucking remember. I remember everything to the back entrance of the hotel, things I don't want to remember. I remember. I just like.
But also for me, when I talk to someone whose story is very close to mine, it's hard for me because it brings back too much, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe that will ease over time.
Probably, yeah.
When Justin and I last week were talking about triggers, I can do it now and I don't freak out now.
Yeah.
And I can breathe through it and look, but getting my blood taken was huge for me. And like I said, I'm good now.
But then there's been cases where someone on our show is describing going through that process.
I want to go vomit in the bathroom.
Oh, that's hard for me. I can't watch, what's that show? Intervention?
Girl, I would never.
I cannot, like the shooting up, I can't watch it.
So I can't.
Because I was more addicted to shooting up than I was the drug at some points. Like that was something, that was just as big of an addiction as anything. Yeah.
I agree. And getting your blood taken is going through the process and not getting high.
Romantic part of drinking. The martinis or an event, it's the toast. And sometimes when I'm watching shows and they show that as the way it is, and it bothers me. You know, it does bother me.
I think that there's trauma in that because I will tell you, I can't watch any shows. And I think I need more therapy. I will tell you the podcast helps me process it.
Yeah.
But I can't watch 24 hours or 48 hours or CIS. I watch.
That's how I go to bed every night. Serial killer documentaries.
So I can't. Otherwise, I'm scared.
Really?
Yeah. And it makes me sad.
Yeah.
And if I see a little girl on a TV show get something done inappropriately, it stays with me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I can't do it. And people always, I'm into sports, but in sports, none of that happens.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And
There's no emotion. Well, not the emotion that you, yes.
You're a little attituded, but I think sports has been a safe thing for me to watch. And it's crazy. I think probably detach.
Yep.
But I still have a hard time with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do. And I don't think it's something I'm going to get over.
Maybe, and maybe not. That's part of the growing thing.
60, I don't know.
You still got a lot of years.
I do. I look good for 60. I'm good with it. Yeah. But I don't know. I think, again, who you surround yourself with is so important.
Yep.
Yeah. I love that you're promoted and you're main bitch, for lack of better terms. I love that.
About the day I had to leave this relationship, I found out I was getting this promotion, and it allowed me to stay in the 3-bedroom townhouse that I have. And now I'm doing it all on my own. I have a nice car. I've got the place. I've got rooms for both my girls. My daughter's talking about leaving her dad's and moving in with me. She just turned 18 and got her license.
Oh, so we've built back a relationship.
Yes. Yeah. Slowly but surely, that was really hard too, because I had to step in as a mother to a teenager who hated me for a lot of very valid reasons.
Right.
That was a really tricky. We should have gotten to therapy or counseling right away. She's a child that's pretty closed off emotionally, and she didn't want to. I should have probably pushed it a little bit more. But yeah, things have turned around completely.
And are you on terms with your mother?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We all just went
See,
on a
this
trip
is what
together.
sobriety does for you people.
It's life-changing. Yeah.
Your mom, there's another lady, Elton.
Yeah. I was thinking of Elton too.
I always feel like Elton's mom fucking deserves everything. My mom wasn't like that. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
She wasn't like, okay, boo-boo kitty. She was like, you got yourself in this mess. You get yourself out. And I'm glad. It's like you said, your mom didn't let you come in the garage,
well,
right?
Not even just that. She pressed charges on me at one point. I took an iPad from her house, and it was my daughter's to use, and she called the cops, and I got arrested. Her thoughts were I was going to get treatment. She didn't understand how it all worked. It didn't end up that way, but she did whatever she could to try to save me.
Please tell her I love her.
I will. I will.
I do. I'm grateful. I have a daughter too, and she was raised right.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody ever anything.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're born of 2 addictive parents. And I told her the whole time, I was like, your dad and I would say, and she went to AA with me since she was 4 to that meeting on Sundays, only on Sundays. We'd go to church and then we'd go to the meeting, and Darrell sang in the choir. But she, almost 2 years ago, she was hungover for 5 or 6 days, really bad. And I told her, basically, you overdosed on alcohol. Jeez. Let me just tell you. And I said, you might want to, and I didn't want to push because I already know. And I said, you might want to
take a look at that.
No. And 2 weeks later, she went to another chance.
Oh, wow. Good for her.
And I'm grateful that she was raised in AA, because you don't have to go to prison.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't have to have that.
That's not the only way out of this.
You don't have to have that horrible story. My sponsor got sober at 30. Okay.
Yeah.
And didn't have to get in trouble at all.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong. It's cool to be sober.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you not have an amazing fun time in the fellowship?
Yeah.
And Peter's house is the cool place on holidays and shit. For real.
Yeah.
Yeah. As an only child. Yeah.
You did good though, for her to recognize that so quick.
I'm grateful for her that she was willing. And I honestly think me going to meetings so long, and she knew my first sponsor really well.
Yeah.
She worships the ground my second sponsor is on.
She
Like,
saw what to do and you didn't need to tell her because you telling her probably would have pushed her
that's
further.
why I
the other
didn't.
Yep.
And my
That
sponsor
was
had
smart
told
play.
me, she had pissed me off. And she had said something that I felt was wicked inappropriate. And I said, I'm going to love you from a distance right now. I'm going to walk away. And this is your gift. You ever say that again, I'll probably slap you. And I had never done that. But she called me a bitch and I wasn't her bitch. I'm not anybody's bitch like that. I could be your bitch, your ride or die bitch. But and I walked away and it was hard. And my sponsor said, don't you dare call her. Don't you let her figure this out. And I did. Sometimes I have to love you from a distance.
Yeah.
I'll still love you unconditionally, but
From over here.
yeah, from over here. And it's hard. I'm sure that's where your mom got to.
Oh, yeah.
I love
Yeah.
you, but I got to love you over here for a
Mhm.
minute.
And she had to step up and be all the things to my daughter that I wasn't able to do.
Yeah.
I love that though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have a really cool relationship and I'm really grateful for it.
And I'm going to tell you, being a mom, and I know you don't understand this one, Peter, but no, it's like child support, right?
Yeah.
People say it's 18. Bullshit. Child
tell
support
you it's
lasts
not.
for the rest of your life. It just gets bigger. It's tires in a bone.
It's not accounted for.
It is. But I have to tell you, I love it when I can help. When I can't, I feel bad. But yeah. Is there anything, first of all, thanks for spending your Friday night with us.
Thank you.
I want to let listeners know, because I looked this up. Darrell, who we've been talking about, his episode's number 53.
Oh, perfect.
And Marion's is to be determined,
Yes.
but we'll have it in the future.
Yes.
Marion,
Listen, Marion,
please.
hear that?
I know when she listens to this, she'll feel better and she'll want to do it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Marion, there's only 3 of us here.
Yeah. And I'll
And-
come and we can all have a conversation.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
it'll
can
be
be
fun.
part of it even.
Yeah.
Thank you for the work you do for these
Yeah.
people. No. they're
Saves me just as much as it does them.
I know, but they're lucky to have you. Not everybody's like you.
Thank
You
you.
can see that and know that. And I'm glad you got a chance to do it over
Yeah.
too, because I really am.
Yeah.
I think I did too. Even though I messed up, I'm very lucky she was too.
Yeah.
She's never had to see me be high.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm really grateful for that. Peter, I'm really grateful for you sharing this space with us tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really am. And today is our 2-year anniversary.
Wow.
So exciting. Your episode will come out. It'll be the 106th or 107th.
Somewhere. I haven't gotten
That's
that far
incredible,
yet.
though. You guys have put so much work into this, and I can't even imagine the amount of people that you guys are inspiring and helping and have given hope to.
But I have to tell you, yes, but I can't tell you. I've basically had 104 therapy sessions that I really fucking needed.
Yeah.
And I can process the memories. Like I will say, your story is, I didn't have a broken picker, but I'm just saying that like, I was too selfish, but I can really relate to and understand. And I don't have to cry about it anymore. Actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was going to say, as we've seen with so many people, thank God they made it through those dark
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Thank God you didn't end up passing from
Yeah.
that abuse
know why?
you gave to your body.
God had another purpose for you.
And
That's
that's
why I'm excited about this next chapter of my life. I'm going to turn 40 this year. And
40 is good,
Yeah,
girl.
no,
I'm telling you,
I'm
40
good.
is good.
But I have never been in a relationship or chosen someone to be in my life because they are the things that I am looking for. It's always been out of necessity or
Mhm.
drugs, or even my youngest daughter's father, like the way it happened. He's not the one I went and picked. And so
I understand that.
I get to go into it with all the knowledge of the things about myself and what are important to me and what's important for my daughter to see. And
I love that.
whether that happens or doesn't happen, I'm not even attached to.
When
but
you
I'm
don't
excited
look
to
for
see
it,
the
it'll happen.
I'm
Yeah.
just excited to see the possibilities of what that could look like for me, especially now that I'm growing in my career and I could meet somebody that also is. And
First of all, okay, there's 3 requirements. And I have to tell you this. If they don't have their own job, their
Oh,
own
yeah.
place, and their own car,
yes,
they cannot talk to you, girl. Please
Yeah.
call
That's like
me.
the bottom at this
I'm
point.
just
Like, I
telling
need
you.
emotional
You
intelligence.
cannot
I
use
need
my car. You cannot spend the night immediately.
Yes.
And I am not giving you my money. My money goes to my child.
Yeah.
Just remember this foundation, okay?
Yes.
I love it.
this
Thank
is-
you for
yeah.
being here.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank
Is there
you.
any parting words you want to share with those out there listening who maybe are on the fence or
I just want everybody to know that anything is possible, that recovery is, people are scared that it's going to be boring or don't know what it's going to be like. My whole life has changed. I have 6 years as of last month, and everything has changed for me in the last 6 years. And you get to a point 6 years in where you could never even see going back, and everything is possible. And
Everything is
Yeah,
possible too.
it
yeah.
is. Yeah.
And you're a miracle. But I do believe I've met a lot of miracles. People
Yeah.
don't think miracles happen in the world. How many have we met?
104?
Yeah.
107 now.
Actually, up to 107.
But I'm just telling you, there are so many miracles in my life, and it's not money.
Yeah.
It's not prestige. You're a miracle in my
Yeah.
life. I'm so
The
grateful.
finances is just so we can keep doing this. That's all I wish
Yes,
for.
exactly.
I don't want to be a millionaire
Yep.
and
We just need somebody
You
to pay
know?
for our newsletter, which is $25.60 a month.
and maybe get one of those roll-up signs and a
Yeah.
canopy so when
We
we
have
go to
a-
events we look cool.
We have events. We have a poster board that we put on
Handmade, spray limited.
Peter's working on but we have, you know how they have those things, those stand-up things?
Yeah.
Oxford House has one because
Yeah.
that's how I met Patty. We just would like a few things. We would like a tarp to protect our equipment. We're in the rain. Like, we're not asking for much,
Yeah,
okay?
exactly.
We've survived on the smallest.
It's coming
but-
for you guys.
We
You
think
guys
so too.
Yep, it is.
We think that Peter's cancer last year and my starting a new job, right?
Yep.
We think just doing the deed, right? And getting it out. We think this year is going to be our turnaround year.
The consistency that you guys have had
That's
and the
what we're
passion that
hoping.
you've put into it, like at some point, something has to grow from it.
And the people
Yeah,
we've met,
I hope so.
think these are the people moving and grooving. Like, we believe that honestly, we will just get a little bit of funding so it makes it a little bit easier.
That's all you need.
That's all.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what we're
all we
asking
require.
for.
a little kickstart.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
kickstart, and then Oprah or Kelly's calling.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks
Well,
again.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay, this is Julie.
And this is Peter.
And Megan, thank you.
Thank you all for listening.
That's a wrap on today's episode. Thanks to each and every one of you for lending us your ears and hearts. Your engagement is what fuels our passion and keeps this podcast thriving.
We cherish the moments we share here and hope they resonate with you, whether you're on a daily commute, at the gym, or just taking a moment for yourself.
Make sure to head over to our website at realrecoverypodcast.com. While you're there, subscribe to our newsletter for the latest insights and uplifting stories from our community delivered straight to your inbox.
Click that subscribe button on your favorite podcast player too, so you can keep up with every new episode. It's your support that keeps our conversation alive and meaningful.
And if our stories have touched you, consider using the donate button on our site. Your contributions, no matter the size, are deeply appreciated. They help us continue our mission of sharing hope and healing.
Join us beyond the podcast and follow our journey on social media. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and on X, formerly known as Twitter. All the links are on our site, so you can stay connected and be a part of the Real Recovery community every day.
Your likes, shares, and comments not only spread the message of recovery, but also remind us that we're all in this together.
So, until we meet again, remember that recovery is a journey, not a destination, and we'll be here to accompany you every step of the way to recovery, real recovery.
Thanks for listening.